Call the meeting to order. Pledge allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. Roll call, please.
President Dom,
Here.
Vice President Everard.
Here.
Treasurer Zimmerman.
Present.
Secretary Wazorek.
Here.
Trustee Leahy. Here. Trustee Zurich.
Here.
And Trustee Zeller.
Here.
Great. 4.0 conservation ethic. Lloyd, would you?
Sure. To foster a conservation ethic among McHenry County citizens, helping all of us, regardless of the basis of our interest in nature, to develop a greater awareness of our role in and responsibility for the total community of life. Conservation ethic asks us to assume a moral duty to become educated about conservation issues and then to act on that information. The conservation ethic is an attitude that recognizes the importance of preserving the natural heritage of the county's open space. Goal number 4, to interpret and promote the overall significance of natural and cultural resources and to promote public understanding and support of district land management practices.
Great, thank you. Conservation stewardship pledge, Sean?
Sure. Conservation Stewardship Pledge. The pledge to make a difference by standing up for water, wildlife, and way of life in McHenry County. Our quality of life in McHenry County depends on healthy and sustainable natural resources, thoughtfully developed cities and towns, a strong economy, and beautiful outdoor places to explore, discover, and recreate. We will manage public lands through science and in a manner that is responsive and resilient to a changing climate.
Great. Land acknowledgement statement, Nora?
Yes, land acknowledgement statement. Many indigenous groups and tribal nations, including the Ho-Chunk, Kickapoo, Lakota, Dakota, Mascoutin, Miami, Peoria, Potawatomi, Sauk, and Meskwaki. McHenry County is part of their traditional homeland. We invite you to join us in offering respect to the indigenous peoples living here today and their ancestors' stewardship of the land. Together, we celebrate these special places, seek to learn and honor the history of those who came before us, and strive to forge meaningful relationships with indigenous communities to deepen our collective connection to the land.
Great, thank you. We'll move on to 7.0, top of the agenda.
Make that motion. Good job.
I'll second it. Moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Trustee Zurich.
Yes.
Vice President Everard.
Yes.
Trustee Zeller.
Yes,
Trustee Leahy.
Yes.
Secretary Wazorek.
Yes.
Treasurer Zimmerman.
Yes.
President Dom.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you. We'll move on to 8.1. We'll talk to Caitlin about the awards.
Yes, we want to congratulate our marketing team on another third award, but this one basically part of the International Trails for the Program of Trail Promotion and Education Advancing Trails Award via the American Trails. So congratulations to Caitlin, Maddie, and team for this honor. Anything you want to say about it, Caitlin?
No, it was just a really cool experience to go and accept the award in Madison a couple weeks ago, but yeah. We're excited for the next round of Find Your Wild to kick off on Saturday, this Saturday.
Oh, excellent. Well, congratulations. Okay, 8.2, we're gonna honor a couple conservation champions. Looks like we have two awards that go out to Len Bannon and Matt Sullivan Schroyer. They're their 2025 Conservation Champion Awards. Henry County Conservation District Board of Trustees recognizes Len and Pat as the conservation champions. Conservation Champion Awards recognizes the individuals who have made contributions of extraordinary significance or impact to the conservation movement through their continued dedication and support of the mission of McHenry County Conservation District. Since 2012, Len has volunteered countless hours as the first site steward for the Exner Marsh Conservation Area. His efforts have significantly contributed to restoring and improving the site's natural areas. Beyond his hands-on work, Glenn shares his extensive knowledge with all the other volunteers, including youth groups, completing service hours, always reminding them, Earth thanks you. Among his many contributions, Len organizes Green Friday workdays as an eco-friendly alternative to Black Friday. His dedication, hard work, passion for the conservation make him an invaluable part of the Exner Marsh Conservation District.
You move to,
So would you please?
yes. I'd like to place a motion for the board for resolution, adopting resolution number 25-38, recognizing Len Bannon and Sullivan Troyer as our conservation champions for 2025.
Second. It's been moved and seconded.
Trustee Leahy,
Yes.
Vice President Everard,
Yes.
Trustee Zurich,
Yes.
Treasurer Zimmerman,
Yes.
Trustee Zeller,
Yes.
Secretary Wazorek,
Yes.
and President Dom.
Yes, motion carries unanimously.
Did you want to read on Pat Sullivan? Did you read hers?
I was gonna read that, but
You read that?
no, I got two lens.
Oh, there should be a Pat.
I know, I was looking for it and I thought, oh.
Page 2. Okay, so don't go to page 2. Here's.
Okay. Matt, we're not gonna forget you. Pat Sullivan Troyer is a dedicated volunteer with the Conservation District and a longtime site steward at the Pioneer Fen. Her near encyclopedic knowledge of the site's plants and animal species consistently impresses fellow volunteers during restoration work days. A retired public school teacher, educator, Pat brings patience and a natural talent for teaching to her volunteer efforts. Her co-steward, Carla Hanrahan, shares restoration days with Pat include lessons not only on what needs to be done, but why, how it should be done. Pat's countless hours and devoted to the restoration of the Pioneer Fen advocacy of the natural world make her a true conservation champion. So congratulations, Pat. We have a couple of board. This is Len's, this is Pat's, so we'll come around and present to you and come on.
If we could get a photo as well.
Great.
Come on up to, come up and do this.
We'll slip past here.
It's what?
A lake in the background?
Yeah, we can just go right here. Like, okay, I got Pat's.
Okay, well, that's me.
Len,
Yep,
over
over
here.
here. Yeah.
I know.
There, we gotta go.
You want to afford or time?
Separately would be great. I could do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for all your efforts. Wow.
Oh, yeah. It's good shoulder. Can we do a group? Oh, I'm
Can we
sorry.
get a
That's okay.
picture of everybody?
Perfect.
Lloyd,
I have a show.
Another recognition we need to make is the Legacy Tree Program Task Force. Our our one and only Elizabeth Kitzler was appointed by the governor to serve on the Illinois Legacy Tree Program Task Force, to represent the Illinois Association of Park Districts. So congratulations.
No, just very excited in the opportunity. Obviously, we've done a lot of tree mapping and the importance of our oaks and hickory woodlands, and to represent the voice for the conservation district serves and park districts in the state of Illinois. I'm only one of 19 voices that'll be around the table, so I don't know exactly. We haven't had our first meeting yet. So as soon as they finish the appointments, we'll get to work, but we have several years to complete our work.
How long do you have to serve on that?
4 years.
Okay, good. Great, congratulations. All right, I'm gonna ask John to help us introduce the new team member. It's not really new, but Ben O'Day. Ben, yeah, you wanna introduce him first?
I'll be up there. Okay. Yeah, by way of introductions is Ben O'Day, you guys have known him. He did share, I think, that he started with us as a seasonal in 1990.
94.
94,
Yeah.
so 30 years, yeah, 30 years, so he's been around a while. And he went up through the ranks. He started as seasonal. I think we called them assistant rangers or ranger assistants first. It was appointed or hired into that position, and then eventually made it to a ranger position. And I know that he worked in the southeast corner, the southwest corner. He worked at the Brookdale area as well throughout those many years being a ranger. And when Harry Weborg was promoted into the manager role, Ben was then there was a vacancy as supervisor, and Ben rolled into that. And probably in going through the hiring process, Ben shared with us that about 7 years ago, he said to Perry, "And what do I need to know to take over your job, for lack of a better word, to get me ready to do that thing?" And so we started gobbling up all of that information, and when did the interview, went through the interview process, the hiring process, very apparent that he was ready for the role. And I can say that he's been the interim for a little over a month, and obviously in the role just a few weeks ago, and he's really moving into it quickly. And if there's one thing I know about Ben, sometimes I have to put the reins on that guy, because when I ask him to do something, boom, it's done. So I like that, and that's wonderful. So Ben O'Day.
Good, congratulations.
Appreciate it very much. I feel very proud to be a small part of the district's accomplishments over the last 30 years or so. I've had the opportunity to work with a ton of fantastic staff and employees, and a lot of them have helped me tremendously along the way. A lot of them are in this room tonight. So just a thank you to all of you, and I appreciate the vote of confidence, and excited for the future.
Good, great, thank you. We want to announce the grand reopening of the Lake Atwood at the Howells Conservation Area. That'll be on Saturday, June 14th at 10 a.m. There's a ribbon cutting and remarks time, and there's a fishing at 9 a.m. until noon. And what else? There's stuff going on there. So just the grand reopening of the Atwood, Lake Atwood at the Howells Conservation Area. Elizabeth, was there any more on that?
Yeah, and just that, again, more celebration that the Illinois Park and Recreation Association's Forest Preserve and Conservation section recognized last week at their symposium, this project with a recognition for the total project of its completion and the work that was done to make this area accessible for all. So then a shout out to our planning and development team for their work in working through this and to have this project highlighted.
Great. Forward to it. Trustees report. Lauren, do you have anything on?
Yeah, two things. One, I attended, as I mentioned on Thursday, the interviews for the 6 candidates that we had for the open trustee position coming, and I believe it is official.
It's official,
Okay.
yeah.
But I saw something like that.
There will be in a couple
You have to
hours.
vote.
Oh, they still have to vote. All right,
Yeah.
I won't go any further then, but it just, to reiterate, we had 6 just outstanding candidates. I mean, just, as Ron and I both in HR, you just salivate to see that kind of talent come in. It's really nice to know that there's that kind of interest in, amongst the locale to participate. So really, really good news there. And attended the foundation board. I see some foundation members back there. There was always an exciting action-packed meeting, but the highlight of which I think was the announcement that their tax status has changed. It was a 2-year, at least, endeavor to change that. And the significance of that is, one, they have to have so much volume of contributions have to be from not large contributions, but small contributions. I think that's really significant to broaden the base of people who are financially supporting the foundation. And then secondly, it means that through IRAs, people can they have to make these automatic required distributions from the IRAs. They can actually make a contribution out directly to the foundation from their avoiding taxes. And it also works out great for the giver as well as for the foundation. So that was a long time coming and a significant change, and they actually received their tax status report from the government. So kudos.
Yeah, that's great. Awesome. Good. Anybody else go to any meetings or?
Well, yeah, I did my first education tour, and it was on Friday at Prairie View. I shared with Elizabeth, I thought Nate did a great job, and it was on birding, which I never knew anything about. So great hour and a half. If anybody is an interest in birding, I would highly recommend the introduction to the bird.
Great.
So
Good.
we actually downloaded LAP, and then I spent some time with Nora walking with and Elizabeth with hiking with Mike, and that was my first time in that the location I'm spacing.
It's Rush Creek.
Rush Creek.
Very-
Yeah, and if you haven't been out to Rush Creek, a very, very impressive site. Again, I continue to be just so impressed with the conservation expertise, and Fernando was the one who led us on the tour, but just pointing out the sites and what they've cleared and bringing back the wildflowers. So it was, you can make a hike with Mike. I highly recommend it.
Yeah. Anybody else have anything? Fine.
We went to Cory, is it?
Yeah, you give a little report on that.
Okay. Yes, so I wanted to make sure everybody had a chance to view the quarry, and then at some point in time, visit it on your own. More wild parsnip is growing out there, so you had it good. You had it good.
Yes, we did.
And I took the loppers out there ahead of everybody to cut a path or cut down the wild parsnip and everything. Then Mike takes the loppers later. And he says I was too expressive.
Very motivated. Too much down?
No, I was talking.
She had them in her hands and she was talking with them.
You're like.
I'm like,
Yeah.
why don't you just give those to me for right now?
If you didn't notice, he ducked in your head.
How she's a licensed herbicider.
Boy.
Thanks for the risk management.
Yeah, always watch for this.
That's great.
All right. Paul, do you have anything to report today?
Just like Mr. Everhart was talking, we're gonna be choosing, I believe the chairman's gonna be appointing. I don't know if we're gonna actually vote on it, but hopefully we'll vote. So we'll have a new member.
Take my spot.
Big shoes to fill, right?
Oh, I don't know about that.
So, but yeah, so that's what I got for you right now.
Good, thank you.
Yep.
All right. Public comments number 1. Anybody out there or anybody in the public here that would like to say something?
No.
Yeah.
That wants to speak, rather.
Okay, we'll move on to the consent agenda. So,
Okay. 13.0 board business consent agenda. 13.1 approval of minutes of previous meetings. 13.1A, March 20th, 2025, committee of the whole executive session. 13.1B, April 17th, 2025, committee of the whole. 13.1C, April 22nd, 2025, regular meeting. Treasurer's report. 13.2A, acceptance of treasurer's report for April 30th, 2025 as presented. 13.2B, acceptance of general fund budget variance report for fiscal year 2025, quarter 4, ended December 31st, 2025. 13.3, resolution number 25-39, authorizing payment in the amount of $17,887.50 due on June 30th, 2025. The Amalgamated Bank of Chicago, Illinois, on the $2.385 million of outstanding debt certificates. 13.4, resolution number 25-40, authorizing the payment to McHenry County Collector and McHenry County Treasurer for the 2024 first installment of property tax, a total cost not to exceed $92,772.80. 13.5, resolution number 25-41, authorizing the transfer of donated farm equipment to the Rock River Threshery Incorporated of Egerton, Wisconsin. 13.6, authorization to prepare and solicit requests for proposals to establish a conservation grazing lease to rotationally graze cattle and or sheep on the 48.5 plus or minus acres KLP 10956 parcel. Resolution, 13.7, resolution number 2542, authorizing the submission of grant application to the Union Pacific Railroad Community Ties Program for 50 plus minus acre period construction enrichment seeding within the Colm Kent Prairie unofficial name. 13.8, resolution number 25-43, ratifying the executive director's execution of change orders number 1 and 2 in the amount of $4,830 with Atwood Mechanical Incorporated of Harvard for the Felpro RRR plumbing repairs project. 13.9, resolution 25-44, ratifying executive director's execution of change order number 2 in the amount of $8,869 with Copenhagen Construction Incorporated of Gilbert, Illinois, for the Hollow Lakes Atwood Improvements Project for the work to extend the bulkhead for the canoe kayak launch and realign the new trail crossing the existing vernacular drive, which is part of the Hollow Lake Atwood Access Project. 13.10, resolution number 25-31, amended authorizing the purchase of 1 replacement vehicle Chrysler Pacifica through McHenry County bid purchase contract number 25-7614 for a cost not to exceed $43,954. McHenry County bid number 25-7614, resolution number 25-45, authorizing an amendment to the School Springs migration banking instrument, allowing for the release of 5 acres of wetland credits contingent on meeting interim vegetation performance standards. 13.12, resolution number 25-46, approving the attached compatible use authorizations and authorizing their execution.
Okay. Motion out there, we need a second. Moved and seconded.
Treasurer Zimmerman,
Yes.
Secretary Wazorek,
Yes.
Trustee Zeller,
Yes.
Trustee Leahy,
Yes.
Vice President Everard,
Yes.
Trustee Zurich,
Yes.
and President Dom.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you.
But that section.
Get your win back?
Well, that section seems to get longer and longer.
We did talk about it at the cow, so everybody
Yes,
knew
that's
what was
true.
happening.
That's true.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Yes, and hopefully you continue doing the same work.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
All the activity.
Approval of bills payable for the month of April of 2025.
Yep, 14-1A, I did pull 3 items from April bills payable 2025. First is invoice F8927 Clock Group Incorporated for clock cameras. One was for 5,000, second charge for 1,000.
Cameras?
Block cameras. I don't know.
What's a block camera?
I don't know what a block camera is.
It's a camera that we put at the center. The entrances to several sites have these cameras. They're license plate readers. And what, if
It's more for police action, not.
yeah, if there is the person has a warrant on them, the car is stolen, the car is wanted in anything, it'll immediately send a hit to the dispatch and we'll get an alert that they're out there. They're also used in, tracking,
Amber Alerts.
if a sex offender comes into one of our sites, et cetera, that's what they're about.
Okay.
So these are new to the district then?
I think we found them first, I'm going to say somewhere around 5 years ago, we brought in like 3 of them. And tried them out, found them to be successful. There was a grant released a few years, like 2 years after that. To give small agencies like ours an opportunity. I think we went out and expanded to. I think at some point in time, we had as many as 12 out there.
Oh, wow.
I believe we may have dropped that back to somewhere around 8 or something like that. So that's, and I believe what we are is like in the final year of that grant approach. You know, they gave us the money up front and that paid for them for a couple of years. And Keith and I have talked about the return on investment on that, and they're trying to evaluate whether that's something we want to continue going forward. Certainly in some of the sites that are more highly used, probably a good idea to have.
High profile type.
You got it, but not in you know, a Bexwoods or something like that.
Right.
So that's really what it's about.
Good, thank you.
Has there been any, has it been effective? Has there been stuff that's been?
We have, yes, encountered something. We have, unfortunately, a lot of times by the time we get to the site, if it happens to be a sex offender, they're already out of the site and we can catch that on their way out. I mean, see it again. We've used it to nail people with illegal dumping, you know, those kinds of things. And there have been other things, you know, the chief would be able to explain it a little bit more on some of those things. But part of that, Mike, is that ROI, return on investment on this, is the $10, $12, $5,000 we're spending worth it? Is that a value? And I can also say that we were challenged by former county board members to utilize technology rather than just hire people and put more cars and whatever on the streets, like, hey, use technology. Former Chief Laura King found this technology and she said, let's give this a shot. I said, good idea.
Doesn't that help the police, I mean, the sheriffs and everybody else?
Yeah, where are you seeing these pop up? These things are exploding out there. Where you see that a lot of times are in small, rural neighborhoods. You're starting to see these things because they don't have police coverage out there. And this will tell them immediately if something bad is coming to their community.
Yeah.
Communities are starting to use this, thing. It's becoming very prevalent out there. So we're gonna be running an ROI on it and, you know, probably in this upcoming budget, decide whether we want to continue. We'll certainly continue some of them, probably not all of them.
Good, thank you for your.
Okay, thanks, John. Second one is G9124 governmentjobs.com for software. It's $10,133.30. The last one was F 8810 for Franco TYP Wistelia. It's a Wi-Fi adapter for $100. Those are three. 14.1B, I make a motion to approve the payment of bills payable as indicated on the submission of bills pending report for the month ending April 30th, 2025, which is in a second.
Second, Ron seconds.
Vice President Everard,
Abstain.
trustee Zurich,
Yes.
treasurer Zimmerman,
Yes.
trustee Zeller,
Yes.
trustee Leahy,
Yes.
secretary Wazor,
Yes.
and president Dom.
Yes. Motion carries. Yeah, go ahead.
And just on the abstention, I'm sure, is there an item on the bill that you have to abstain from?
Yes.
Can you please disclose?
Yeah, we,
Yeah, be transparent.
yeah, I traveled to Washington DC to meet with our congressional staffs. And, so there's some expense reports for breakfast and then other stuff. So
Reimbursed.
so it's reimbursements, but since it's a check made out to me, so I should abstain from approval.
Thank you for the clarification.
Okay. We need to give authorization to solicit requests for RFQ, the 2040 comprehensive conservation plan. So I have a motion. Consider a motion to solicit. So move solicit.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded.
Trustee Zeller,
Yes.
vice president Everard,
Yes.
secretary Wazor,
Yes.
treasurer Zimmerman,
Yes.
trustee Zurich,
Yes.
trustee Leahy,
Yes.
president Dom.
Yes, motion carries. All right. Also, we want to take action on 14.3, the letter of no objection for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services proposed use of land water conservation fund for Habitat National Wildlife Refuge. So someone want to consider that motion?
I'll make the motion to adopt resolution 2547.
Second. It's been moved and seconded.
Trustee Zurich,
Yes.
trustee Zeller,
Yes.
trustee Leahy,
Yes.
secretary Wazor,
Yes.
treasurer Zimmerman,
Yes.
vice president Everard,
Yes.
and president Dom.
Yes, motion carries. And we'll just keep moving along with some action here. 14.4 with the Bigfoot Wood Oak Legacy Project. I'd like to consider that motion to pass ordinance 25/1062, authorizing execution of a real estate sale contract for the purchasing of the Kleinberg Trust Parcel, and acquisition of the real property according to its terms as part of the Bigfoot Woods Oak Legacy Project.
So move.
Second, Bonnie seconds it.
Okay. Secretary Wazor,
Yes.
treasurer Zimmerman,
Yes.
trustee Zurich,
Yes.
vice president Everard,
Yes.
trustee Zeller,
Yes.
trustee Leahy,
Yes.
president Dom.
Yes, motion carries again unanimously. Move on to report by the executive director.
Okay, a group of us tomorrow night, we're gonna be meeting before McCog with the village president of Lake in the Hills, so we'll report back following that. I'll send out a follow-up invitation. Many of you may have received an invite by the W.A. McConnell Foundation for the wine and garden walk that they are doing. This is the property owners across the street from the McConnell Farm. And so if anyone was interested in buying a ticket or going to that fundraiser, we'll make sure that you have that. You did not get that. So they may not have mailed it, but I'll make sure that you have information. So if you're interested, they would welcome attendance to support for that. The date off the top of my head, John, do you recall when that is? It's the.
No, said it this morning, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. I don't know off the top of my head, but I will send it to everybody so you have all of that. It's on the weekend, it's coming up and it's over, and I'm out of town, so won't be here. And then the last thing, just as yesterday you noted, obviously there's a lot of rules and regulations that have been going on. We did provide comment on opposition to the proposed changes under the Endangered Species Act. The concerns there, you read the letter, and there's removal of harm. And if you take harm and habitat, you no longer protect that, then of course you're not protecting those species. So is of concern, and there was a great op-ed in the Chicago Tribune that was written by all the zoological, museums, et cetera. So Morton Arboretum, Brookfield Zoo, Lincoln Park Zoo, Pitt Aquarium, definitely.
The Habitat Foundation did the same thing.
Did they do the same thing?
Yes.
Yes, so good. So there's been a lot of push out there. So we'll see where that sits, but so that was where that stands. That's all I have.
All right, great, thank you. Public comments number 2.
There's no one online.
Nobody in the audience. Entertain the motion to adjourn. If there's anything else that we need to do. Anybody have any questions or comments out there? No? Okay, I'll have to adjourn. Motion, I need a second. Sean?
Trustee Leahy,
Yes.
trustee Zurich,
Yes.
treasurer Zimmerman,
Yes.
vice president Everard.
Yes.
Trustee Zeller. Yes. Secretary Wazorek,
Yes.
president Dom.
Yes. We need to adjourn.
5:36. We do have to.